Hello everybody. All right, I am way off by myself over in the children's room, so I can take my mask off for the moment while I do some yoga with you guys. Oh, my face is all sweaty. I am ready to stretch and relax. I'm very excited. I love doing yoga with you guys. Never done it on video. We'll see what happens. But yeah, as you can see, I'm way off in the children's section. So, let's get started. If you have a yoga mat, I'd love for you to get it out and set it up, lay it out flat, wear something really nice for exercise. I've got on leggings, a tight t-shirt, with a ghost on it from Mario. If you guys don't have a yoga mat, you can lay out some towels as well, just something that'll cushion your knees and your hands when we go up to positions like tabletop, when we do certain stretches. It'll be much nicer for you. Okay, and I've also got some socks on. So, all right, are we ready to go? One of the most important parts of yoga is breathing. Now, it seems kind of silly, but we always breathe. Why do we have to think about it? Why do we have to focus on it? Well, it's one of the things that helps make us really relax and helps us warm up for yoga. So, what I want you to do when we start our breathing, slide over a bit so you can see the top of my head too. All right, going to cross your legs, just a normal crisscross applesauce, nothing fancy. You are going to keep your back straight as you can, your shoulders pulling back, your head nice and straight. Imagine that there's a string that goes all the way through your body, from the bottom of your spine all the way to the tippy top of your head. And someone is pulling that string really tight, so you are stretched as much as you can. Like that, yeah. All right, so we're going to start with balloon breathing. You can put your hands on your belly if it'll help, okay? We call it balloon breathing because we imagine that there's a balloon inside of our bellies, all right? So we want to inflate the balloon, we want to deflate the balloon, all right? So get into your position with your back really straight, your head up high, your chin up, your shoulders back, like someone's pulling that string. You can put your hands on your belly, and we want to breathe in through our noses. Really, really big, deep breath, and out. Out through our mouths. We want to feel our bellies going inward and outward, right? All right. Okay, can we do some more? Breathe in, and out. You can make lots of noise when you breathe out, too. Sometimes that helps. And yoga isn't just about being healthy in your body. It was also about being healthy in your mind. So I want you to think about if there's anything that's making you nervous or sad or angry. I want you to think about those things. And when you breathe in, I want you to think about them. But then when you breathe out, I want you to let them go. Just send them away. Yeah? It really helps you feel better. All right. So let's do it a few more times, okay? Back to our balloon breathing. Get really nice and straight with that really tight string in our backs. All right, this time, let's hold our breath for a little bit. Let's hold it in. Okay? Can we do that a couple of times? All right. And then we hold it. And then we let it out. Couple more? Can we do it a couple more times? Okay. In. Hold. Good job. One more? Okay. hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And out. Oh, you guys did a great job. Okay, now, let's warm ourselves up a bit. Let's rub our palms together, get them nice and warm. Wake ourselves up. We are ready to go. We are ready to exercise. All right. Oh, feel that on your face? Ooh, that's so nice. Okay. Warm hands, warm hands, warm hands. Oh, that feels great. Okay. Now we're actually going to start our warm-up, all right? So we are going to start with some very simple stretches. So I'm going to adjust the camera a bit here. You really can't see my head. Okay. That's better. There we go. All right. First thing we're going to do. Still with our legs, crisscross applesauce. Still with our spine, pulled nice and tight by that string. What we're going to do is take our head and move it around in a circle. Nice and slow. Move it around in a circle. This should make the muscles in your neck feel really nice. You gotta remember that tight string. I kept forgetting just then. I started to slouch down. We want to stay up high, up high, up high with our spines. And we want to spin our head around nice and slow. And then we want to go the other way. Do this a few times, and then you can go the other way again and circle. How does that feel? Is that good? All right, now we're going to do that same thing but with our spines, with our whole body. So we'll keep our legs really steady, but we're going to move the top part of our body, our spine, in a big circle, just like with our heads. And don't forget, while you're doing all of these poses, all of these warm-ups, you want to keep breathing. So don't forget, in through your nose, think about all the bad things that might be making you upset, and then out through your mouth. You can do it nice and loud if that helps you remember. All right, and then let's circle our spines the other way. Ooh, feels really nice, huh? Sometimes you'll feel a little pinch, maybe from a muscle you don't use very much. And that's okay. But if you start to feel really hurt, if something is upsetting, or just doesn't feel good, I want you guys to stop, okay? If a certain pose just isn't working out for you, you can come back to your legs crossed. You can just sit down and go back to breathing, because that's one of the really important things, all right? Is to be aware of all your body parts, to be aware of what hurts and what feels good and what needs work, right? Okay, so we did our spines, we did that. Okay. Stretch side to side with your arms. That's what's next on my paper. So let's take an arm, pull it to the side. We can wiggle our fingers while we do that. Stretch them out real far. Okay. And we can do it again. Wiggle our fingers, stretch them out real far. What do these wiggly fingers remind you of? Maybe little tentacles on an octopus. Whatever you want to imagine. All right, now let's try it a little bit further with our whole top of our body. It's going to be the same thing. We'll take an arm and we'll move it to the side. So you should feel a stretch right here in your back. These are muscles that we don't use normally in our everyday activities. So this might pull a little bit. But like I said before, we want to be aware of all the parts of our body. If something really hurts, we want to stop. Okay, what's our next one? Ooh, turning our heads side to side, like this. Go back to center. Ooh, and what am I forgetting? I'm forgetting the string in my back. I was slouching. All right. Yeah, just like that. We want to turn our heads as far as we can. Keep our shoulders back, keep our chests up, keep our legs down. And we want to turn our heads as much as we can. Like an owl, right? Yeah? Do you want to make owl sounds when you do it too? Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, what's next on our paper? Ooh, this one's fun and easy. All right, so we're going to stay on our butts. We are going to stretch our legs out and our arms out. And we'll give them some little wiggles. Wiggle our toes, wiggle our fingers, wiggle our arms. We can bounce our head around a bit, bounce our knees up and down. Just get wiggly. We can turn our ankles in circles. Can you see that on the camera? You can make circles going inward and circles going outward. You can do it again. And we want to bounce our knees up and down a bit. Wake up our legs. Oh, I'm starting to feel awake. Ooh, and I can start to feel that up here in my legs too. All right. Let's go back into our crossed legs for the moment. What's next? We're going to roll our shoulders. So, pull that tight string, but we want to focus on our shoulders now. So we want to roll them backwards. Big, big circles. And we want to roll them forwards. Again, these are muscles that we don't use every day. We don't always think about them. So sometimes when we move them, it really wakes our body up. It makes us really aware of what's going on. Okay. Okay, our very last warm-up part. All right. So we're going to do a few more breaths. Big breaths in through our nose, big breaths out through our mouth. And as we do that, we're going to lift our shoulders up for breathing in and let them back down for breathing out. But don't forget, nice and straight. Having really trouble. I'm having a really hard time keeping straight today. My body just wants to slouch. Maybe it's still too early in the morning for me. But that's why we do stuff like yoga. We want to wake up our bodies. We want to be aware of ourselves. All right, so stretch your string from the bottom of your spine to the top of your head. Stretch out really far. So, big breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. See how my shoulders go up and down? All right, you can do it with me. I know you can. Big, big, big breath and back out. All right, let's do one more and let's hold it a few seconds when we get to after we breathe in, okay? Can we do that? So breathe in, breathe in, breathe in. And hold it. All right, was that nice? Okay, now we will go to a few of the poses that I decided for us to do. So, first thing, we're going to get out of our crossed legs. Now, this is why we need a yoga mat, because stuff like this is going to be tough on our knees and our hands. So, we're going to go to something called tabletop position. We want 4 limbs on the ground, our knees and our hands, and we want our back to be as straight as we can, just like a table. So, our feet are going to be flat, like that. Going to adjust my t-shirt here. All right. We want our backs nice and flat as we can make them. So we are going to go back and forth between 2 poses. One pose is called the cat pose. pose. One pose is called the cow pose. As we do this, we're going to be moving our spine, pulling it down, pushing it up. So we're going to go nice and slowly between one and the other. We're not going to forget to breathe. All right? If you want to make animal noises when we do the certain animals, you can. I would love to hear it. Nice and loud for me, okay? So first thing, we'll do the cow pose, okay? So we lower our back and we stick our butts up. See? Lower our back and we want our head up in the air facing forward. Just like a cow, right? Because they have dips in their backs and their bellies hang low. They look straight ahead like this. Cow. And then slowly we want to switch to a cat. So we lift our back up, we lower our butt down, and we lower our head down like this. Now, why is this a cat? Do you ever see around Halloween, you'll see pictures of a cat that's gotten scared and it lifts its back up and all of its hairs stand up? That's what we want to look like when we're doing this. So this is the cat. So we can meow a bit, meow, meow. So when we breathe in, we want to go to the cow, moo. And when we breathe out, we want to go to the cat, meow. And you can adjust your hands and your knees, however you feel most comfortable. You want to have your hands spaced out right about where your shoulders are. And you want to have your knees spaced out right about where your hips are. So you're not splayed out like this, and you're not squished in like this either. Just want to be nice and steady, like I said earlier, like a table. Nice and steady like a table. So let's breathe in and out for a bit, okay? And we'll go, as we do that, we'll go back and forth from cat to cow, all right? So we're cows, and then we breathe. Nice and slow, okay, guys? All right, let's do one more. You should feel a really nice stretch in your back, in your neck, even in your upper arms. Ooh, my hands feel a little bit numb from that though. It's been a while since I've done yoga, so I'm getting back into it with you guys, which is so much fun. So let's do something called the child's pose. This is so easy. And this is a pose that you can get down into if you're ever feeling sore from the stretches that we're doing. So we want to keep our legs like they were before, with our feet flat like this. And we want to stretch our arms way out. Stretch, stretch, stretch. If you can stretch far enough, you can stick your head right on the mat. You can stick your forehead right on the ground, right? All right, now let's hold this pose for a few breaths. Let's aim for 5 of them, okay? Yeah? I know it's not super interesting to watch, but it's gonna feel so nice in your neck and your back and your arms, right? Okay, all right, let's do it. Child's pose. Pull back out of it. Yeah? How was that? Oh, did that feel nice? Like I said, it's been a while since I've done yoga, so I feel really fidgety. Ugh. Hopefully next time when I do this with you guys, I'll be a bit better at keeping still, right? Sometimes staying still is pretty hard, though. All right, so we are going to go back and forth between upward dog and downward dog. Do you guys know these? So, upward dog, again with our feet flat like that. We want our hips down on the ground, and we want to lift ourselves up like a dog waking up in the morning doing a stretch. A few breaths here, right? How does that feel? We want our chests poking out. All right, and then downward dog. We're going to shift our weight, shift it back. We're going to lift our feet up like this. And this is downward dog. We've got our butt up in the air, can wag it like a tail, can bark a few times, woof, woof, woof. And this is our downward dog. We want our head between our arms. I hope you guys can hear me okay, that it's not too muffled when I do this. And then we can shift slowly back into upward dog. All right, do we want to shift one more time? Shift again. Into downward. Woof, 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 woof. Good job, you guys. All right, so now we're going to switch to some standing poses. I'm going to adjust the camera a bit. I hope you'll all be able to see me. Okay. It looks like I'll have to stand a little bit far away for you to see my whole body, but we're going to do some standing poses now. Are you up on your feet? Yeah? We can do a couple more stretches while we're up here. Circling our arms. You can circle the other way. Yeah, how's that feel? Are your wrists a bit sore from being on the ground? Mine definitely are. So we can do some circles with our wrists. Inward, outward, however you like. Okay. We're going to do something called a forward bend. All right, so we're going to grab our elbows. We're giving ourselves a hug. And we're just going to bend forward. We want to have our arms right around our knees. We want to have our head pointing down. I feel like I'm not getting to do all these poses because I'm explaining what to do to you guys. I hope it's coming across pretty clear. And like I said, I hope you can hear me. It's not too muffled. All right, so let's do it again. Back up a bit more. Okay. So we hold onto our elbows like we're giving ourselves a hug. We're going to lean forward. So that's what your forward bend is going to look like, okay? And while we're down there, we can rock back and forth a little bit. How's that sound? All right, let's go back into it. Oh, how did that one feel? Now let me check my piece of paper. What's next? Ooh, mountain pose. Mountain pose is fun. So, all right, we're standing. We can have our feet right about as far as our shoulders are. So we don't want, like I said, we don't want our feet nice and tight. We don't want our feet way apart. Just about where our shoulders are. We can hold our shoulders back, stand up real tall, like we're mountains. Then we want to slowly raise our arms up. Oh, you really can't see me like this. Up into a point. Up, 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 up. And we want to go as high as we can, high to the sky. Let me get close again. Oh, this camera really isn't the best for yoga, huh? Next time we do it, I'll have figured out something better, I promise. All right, so we're back into mountain pose. Okay. You're very strong, strong. And then we go up, 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 up high, as tall as we can. We're stretching. We don't want to get on our tippy toes. We want to keep our feet flat on the ground, nice and strong. We just want to get as tall as we can by stretching our body, just like I explained before. Like someone's pulling a string really tight. This time, though, the string is going from the bottom of our toes all the way to the tips of our fingers. Someone's pulling it as tight as they can. All right, can you do it? As tight as they can. Don't forget to breathe. And then when we breathe out, lower our arms. All right. Okay. Now there's one more standing pose I want to do for you guys. Probably familiar with it. It requires some pretty good balance. So actually, I'm going to show you my feet while I'm doing this one. So, it's called the tree pose. Now, when you're doing the tree pose completely, you're going to have your foot way up by your knee, and you're going to balance. You're going to have your arms held out, nice and straight, or you can have your arms pointed like we did before with mountain. However, it's kind of tough to balance like this, isn't it? So, there are some easier steps, some beginner steps for tree pose. So you can do either this, where your foot is balancing like that. This is still tree pose. It's just a tree that's still growing, right? Or you can have your foot flat against your leg, but instead of all the way up, it's just a little bit of the way up. See, I'm having a tough time balancing. Even though I like doing yoga a lot, like I said, it's been a while. So my balance is still growing, just like yours might be. Some of you might be able to do this, but again, be really careful, all right? Make sure that there's nothing you could fall on, that you've got plenty of space in all your directions. All right, so, gonna go back up. Hi, guys. So now that you know what to do with your feet, I'm going to do a growing tree. Whoop. I'm going to do a growing tree. I'm going to hold my arms out, balance for a few moments, breathing in, breathing out, in and out. You can switch legs if you want. And you can go, like I said, all the way up, breathing in, breathing out. Ooh, and see, I lose my balance too. All right, so now we're back to the mat. Ooh, let me adjust it. Back to the mat, guys. Hi. Okay. No, I adjusted it too much. All right, now you can see me again. We are back to the mat. Okay. So, a few more poses on the ground, then we're going to do our warm down. It's just as important to warm down as it is to warm up. You want to wake your body up, get it ready for exercise and for yoga. But you also want to tell it, all right, calm down now. You can go back to normal, right? Okay, but first, just a couple more poses, okay? So, I don't want you guys in crisscross for once. I want you guys to hold your toes together. Let me move back so you can really see. Hold your toes together like this. And we're going to butterfly our legs up and down. Yeah? Just like a butterfly. You can do it nice and slow if you want. You can bounce fast. You just have to keep your toes together like this. And when we're doing it, what do we want to do? Tight string. And we want to breathe. I'm already out of breath, huh? Can you tell? This is a lot more exercise than I've done in a while. All right, how's that? Okay. Okay, one last pose for you guys, all right? Had to check my piece of paper. All right, one last pose. This is called the bridge pose. I love doing this. This really makes my body feel nice. So, we're going to have our legs outward, but we're going to bend our knees, feet flat on the ground, nice and steady. We're going to lay back like this. Ooh. Our hands flat, our head flat. And then we're going to bring our hips upward. Our hands are going to stay on the ground, but our hips are going to go up. Let me adjust this so you can really see. So much adjusting, huh, guys? Okay. So, feet flat, arms flat, and our hips go up like this. This is the bridge pose. Our legs are making the bridge, right? Just like that. You can wiggle your toes a bit. You can wiggle your fingers if you want, but don't forget to breathe. All right. Good job, guys. Yeah. Okay. So now let's do our cool down, right? Like I said before, we gotta tell our bodies, all right, no more exercise. This is the end. So let's go back to laying down, but we're gonna bring our knees up. We're gonna give ourselves a hug. Hugging our knees. And let's roll our bodies around. Big circle. You can put your hands under your knees too, if that's easier. But we want to roll forward and backward. We want to roll side to side, and around in a circle. Oof. I got stuck there, huh? Okay. Now, let's do one of the things we did earlier for our warm up. We want our legs stretched out. We want our hands stretched out. We want to wiggle. Wiggle our arms and our fingers and our toes. We want to bounce our knees up and down. We want to wiggle. And wiggle our heads. Oh, how was that? Yeah? Okay. Here's one that's kind of funny. I love to do this. So, we're going to keep our leg out. We're going to bring our foot up. And we hold our foot and our knee. And we rock back and forth. Almost like you're rocking a baby to sleep, right? Except that it's not a baby, it's our own leg. It's kind of a funny one, but it feels nice, huh? And then we switch. Hold our leg out, lift up our foot and our knee, and we rock. Back and forth. Ah, like we're putting our body back to sleep, right? Okay. Now let's do a big, big stretch and try and touch our toes, right? So let's lift our arms up, 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 stretch. Way up to the sky. Have our toes pointing up. And then let's reach down and touch them. Can you do it? Can you reach? Yeah. And if you can bend your head down. And then you'll feel a really big stretch around your knees and in your back and your neck, right? Just like that. Don't forget to breathe. How's that? Yeah? All right. What's our next one? Ooh, all right, we're almost done. So let's go flat. I call this doing the jellyfish. So we're going to go flat. We're going to lift up our legs, lift up our arms, and we're just going to wiggle them around. We don't want to go crazy because we're powering down, right? We're relaxing ourselves. We're getting back to normal. So we want to go nice and slow. Pretend like the room is filled with water and that your limbs are just floating around. You can wiggle your fingers. You can wiggle your toes. You can do circles with your wrists and your ankles. Whatever feels good. Yeah? Is it nice? All right. The very last thing we're going to do is called the corpse pose. This one is nice and easy. So we lay, scoop, scoop. We lay nice and flat. We have our arms right here by our sides. It's not much of a pose. It's just laying down, huh? This is a great way to finish off because you can really feel all the parts of your body that you just stretched out, right? You can feel where your neck got stretched from doing circles. You can feel where your back got stretched from cat and cow, right? And your legs. Is it nice? All right, so let's close our eyes for just a few moments. And we breathe in and out. Don't remember our balloon breaths, right? We want to fill the balloon and empty the balloon, right? So let's put our hands on our bellies. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Okay. All right. How was that, guys? Did you have a fun time? I feel really nice and relaxed now. And my body feels very stretched, very happy. All of my limbs feel nice and ready for the day. I hope you do too. I know some of you are starting school now, some of you online, some of you are going into the buildings. So just remember, it's very important to keep your masks on. Like I said at the beginning, I'm way off by myself, so it's okay that I had it off for the time being. But now that I'm going back to work, it's going to go back on. So I hope that you guys remember all of these things that I taught you today in yoga. How to breathe, how to relax, to think about all the things that are making you upset or nervous, and then when you breathe out, just let them all go. Just let yourself relax. Because I know starting a new school year can be pretty scary and pretty stressful, and things are really different this year than they've ever been before. So I know a lot of you guys will need some new ideas on how to feel good and how to feel normal and how to not really be so nervous anymore. So I really hope that this helped you guys, and I really hope that we'll see you again soon next time. So if you want to watch more of my live programs or some of my programs that aren't live, you can like this Facebook page. That will give you alerts when stuff goes up. You can like our YouTube page and subscribe. Our YouTube page is just North Brunswick Public Library. And keep an eye out for all of the other fun stuff we're doing this month for the children's events. So one of the really fun things we have coming up this Saturday is going to be an art class with Miss April. Have you ever been here while she's been here before? It's going to be on Zoom, it's going to be virtual, but it's still Miss April, and she's still going to show you some really fun stuff that you can do at home. All right, it was so great to spend the morning with you guys. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all have a great school year. And I hope you come back and enjoy yoga with me some other time. All right? Bye.